Let's go straight into it. We're not going to be too long tonight. But I did want to... Let me see, some vibes. Right, come on in. We about to get this show started. Smash that like button. Share this out. Smash that like button. Share this out. We about to get started. In a little bit here, you know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about silver. We're going to talk about the economy. We're going to expose some lies and share some truths. So this is the time. Come on in. Like this out. Share this out. Get that algorithm rocking and rolling. Okay? Get that algorithm rocking. Sound money session. Come on in, share this out. Let me get up to 1,000 likes. Come on, share this out. So here we go. Look, I pulled this up because this is the first thing I want to talk about as I start this show tonight. And we should have a good show, have a real good show. For those who don't know, Ricardo Hamilton, crypto rig M.I.M.S, make it make sense. Obviously, we're talking about the largest wealth transfer in history. We're talking about what's going on in the global economy with the constant devaluation of the dollar, the inflation that is going crazy, this economy that is not well. This is a bad economy, okay, for lack of better words, right? When you have the Federal Reserve, which is a private banking cartel, stepping in here, okay, and manipulating this market, manipulating the economy, manipulating interest rates. That is an indication, that is a sign that we do not have a healthy economy, okay? That is a sign that there is trouble in this economy, okay? And what we are seeing is that with the Federal Reserve, okay, suppressing rates, all right, creating value from nothing, creating inflation, devaluing the dollar, okay, what we're going to continue to see is assets rise in value while the cost of living rise in value, and we're going to see the middle class and savers get crushed. Somebody said, what is better, buying silver coins or bars? It really doesn't matter. Long as it's pure, is what you want. So it doesn't matter if you get rounds or bars like you see here. You just want to make sure that it's real and you get it in your physical possession, okay? They raise interest rates, ignorance. Yeah, so they're cutting interest rates, right. They're cutting interest rates right now. 50 basis points is what the Federal Reserve came out and said they're going to do with interest rates. So here we have, and I'm saying that to say because the trend, okay, is that they're going to continue to cut rates going into 2025, okay? So understand that the Fed's official announcement, for those who are not aware of official announcements versus the Fed manipulating the economy since the inception of the Federal Reserve, okay? The Federal Reserve has never been audited. So yes, the Federal Reserve has been in this market, manipulating this market the whole time, but there's official manipulation and there's unofficial manipulation. So we are definitely referencing the official manipulation that the Federal Reserve has done. They called out and said that they're going to do, okay? Where's a good place to buy silver? So go to @costmetals.com. @costmetals is the best place to get physical silver and gold because it's at cost. There's no markup on the asset, okay? And that's going to allow you to save money and acquire more silver. All right, enter referral code Ricardo Hamilton or M.I.M.S to get there. Look, we got 3 likes on this live stream right now. Smash that like button because we're going to have a good conversation tonight. There's going to be some inspiration, some education, and some empowerment in this live stream. So smash that like button. Get that algorithm out there so people can get this information. UN pact today brings sudden destruction. Yeah, so what's the update on that? I heard about that. Is the US officially with that UN pact? I was looking on the news and I saw that this was a big thing today because they got us distracted with Diddy. They got us distracted with everything else. But I did see that the Republicans before, I think, or they were in Capitol Hill or something, essentially trying to warn people about what's going on with the United States sovereignty and our ability to act during this pandemic. So maybe get to the chat. Maybe somebody can let me know. Is that official now? Have we lost our ability to be self-determining in this nation, or are we now subject to a global, unelected international body? Which form of manipulation is more fun? Let's see here. I meant, shouldn't I base my investment strategy on which is more fun? Buy crypto. Okay, awesome. So I pulled this article up while I'm waiting on that answer. If somebody knows, is the U.S. free or are we under the UN, control of this economy given the next pandemic? But silver, 44-year cup and handle, the largest bullish formation ever. Okay, we've been talking about this, okay, for a long time now, trying to explain to people that physical silver is the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. Okay, physical silver is the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. It said the UN and who are getting rid of a country's sovereignty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that official now in the U.S.? I know that they had to vote today or something or tomorrow, from my understanding. But understand something about silver, folks. I put up the article yesterday or last time I was live on Friday where India, let me pull that up for you guys that are here right now. Let me see. I have that article where India, okay, right here, you can see that India in August, the silver imports were at 65% of the annual mining supply. I want you to really think about how huge that is in 1 month. Just the month of August alone, India imported more than 65%. Why would they do that? That's a clue, right? Governments and central banks around the world have been buying more gold and silver than they have at any time period in history. Okay, at any time period in history. And this is the time for you to preserve your wealth and start saving in physical silver and gold. They snatched your sovereign freedom, folks. We have not indexed. Okay, let me see here. USA voting and results November 5th. Yeah, I know. Essentially, November 5th is, if we get to November 5th, honestly, is going to be a deciding factor for this country. Whether we're going to be free or whether we're going to be under the thumb of tyranny, it seems like. Only those who index, the QFS stuff is a scam. Anybody talking about that QFS stuff, from what I've seen, understand it's a scam. As long as you got your cryptocurrency in a decentralized, non-custodial wallet, you got your seed phrases, you got your private keys, you got your mnemonic phrases, whatever, you're good to go. I don't know about all this QFS stuff. It's a scam. They're trying to get you to plug your wallet in, and next thing you know, they tap all your funds, for all I know. You don't need no QFS account. There's no special account that you need to take advantage of the wealth transfer on the blockchain. If you got some XRP, keep it on your Zum wallet or your Nano Trezor X or whatever have you. You don't need some QFS wallet. I bought 400 ounces today on the dip. Let's go. I'm all in. Hey, money clap for you, Jared. Money clap for you. Yeah, 400 ounces. That's huge. That's a huge buy. You are definitely going to count yourself amongst the wealthy with that acquisition. Silver is real money. Gold and silver are real money, and this is what's going to back the central bank digital currencies. This is what's going to have value as the dollar continues to lose value, okay, because of inflation and devaluing of the currency. Kamala Harris wants to give tax exemptions to India if she's elected. Thoughts on SD bullion to buy silver? SD bullion is not bad. SD bullion has, I think, the lowest prices for online competitors that offer metal at a premium. But at cost metals, they actually have an even better price than SD bullion because there's no markup on the asset. So that's why I tell people go to at cost metals, because there's a much better price on the asset. The same gold and silver you would get from SD bullion, goldsilver.com, M.I.M.S, JM bullion. The same gold and silver you get at those places, you're just going to pay more. So you can get the same gold and silver, but you pay less at cost metals, right? So make sure you use referral code M.I.M.S or Ricardo Hamilton. Invest in firearms. You'll go against my lead. Got it. Yeah, you got to have that. This is America. I don't. And as far as I'm concerned, in America, everybody has guns. As far as I'm concerned, so I wouldn't assume otherwise. Those who have cryptos will be arrested for racketeering. That's an interesting perspective. I don't agree. QFS is from the. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that in the Bible. Some QFS. I have 4,650 ounces average buy of 24. Awesome. Hey, money clap for you, Babylon. Real talk. Somebody said, where you buy silver? Go to at cost metals. atcostmetals.com. Referral code Ricardo Hamilton or M.I.M.S. Or you can check out my website, www.runwithrick.com, www.runwithrick.com, and click on the gold and silver tab. Been buying silver since it was $9 an ounce. Very exciting times for stackers. Yeah, it is, because the rigging and manipulation is coming to an end. So what happened is that with Basel III coming into play now, because of the Bank of International Settlements and the changes that are now taking place in the monetary system. Okay, so all the rigging and manipulation, and even I was on a live stream earlier, and I can't remember. They just said something about the LBMA coffers being raided, like, you know, the COMEX, and they don't have it. All the silver and these contracts that they put out on all this metal, they don't have it. We are going to see an epic silver squeeze that's going to take place, and I honestly believe that we're going to see silver break its all-time high in 2025. I really can see that from what I'm seeing, where the demand, okay, is greater than the supply heading into 2025. From what I'm seeing, especially with that acquisition from India, 65% of the supply, annual supply, bought in 1 month. And then you understand what they're doing with solar panels. If you understand what Samsung just came out with, they're doing with their solid state batteries. If you understand that gold and silver is constitutional money, Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, this debt-based fiat system is collapsing right before your eyes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some form of debt jubilee and they roll out UBI. I think that the system is collapsing right before us. That's why the Federal Reserve had to step in here the way they did. It's an old trick that's having less effect every time they do it, because the world is de-dollarizing. The world is looking at blockchain. They're looking at gold and silver. They're looking at bilateral trade agreements with their own currency. They're getting away from the dollar. And that is a trend. You know, the U.S. has weaponized the monetary system, and people are trying to protect themselves and hedge. And so we're going to continue to see that. And I think that because of a lot of these dynamics, household debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, national debt, we're doing $1 trillion in debt every 100 days on a national debt. The interest payment alone every single year is $1 trillion right now on the debt. It's totally unsustainable. We're in a debt crisis. And you know their solution to the debt crisis? What it's always been: add more debt. You know, I don't understand why people don't see that, because that's all they're doing. The Federal Reserve's product is debt. So the Federal Reserve's solution to any problem is debt and interest on the debt. We can manipulate the amount of debt in circulation, and we can manipulate the interest rate on the debt. And all that does is create more debt. Because for them to when they cut rates, you have to understand, when the Federal Reserve cut rates, they're creating value from nothing and buying the bonds up to reduce the rate. It's inflationary. And then what does Wall Street do? Because money's cheaper. It's cheaper to borrow money now. Well, they're going to prop up their stocks. There's no correlation between the stock market and the real world. Main Street and Wall Street are not correlated. And the Federal Reserve has never been audited. I wouldn't even trust anything that comes out of their mouth anyway. Been buying silver. Says, okay, thank you for your information. I'll get back to you. Yep. I just got to a local coin shop to buy some SD bullion, but the fees. Yeah, I'm an advocate for however you get physical silver. It's just that I know the best place to get it. And that's why I have no problem mentioning our quote competitors, because everybody marks up their metal except us. So I don't even consider them as competitors, right? But I mentioned SD Bullion, goldsilver.com, JM Bullion, M.I.M.S. You can go to those companies. Those are major online dealers who've been selling metal for years, decades even probably. I don't know, the exact time frame, but they mark up the metal. So you're going to pay more going to those sites as opposed to At-Cost Metals. At-Cost Metals is an MLM. No, it's more like an affiliate program. Affiliate program. You see people on TikTok shop. They're recommending you to buy these clothes or these products, and they get a commission. It's the same thing, except I'm dealing with money. I'm not dealing with a product. You know what I mean? So I'd rather recommend people get assets than products. So I'm helping people get wealthy, and I get paid. Makes me feel good, and I get more assets. Somebody else might want to just market products on TikTok, and they get a lot of products, and they make people happy with the products they get. Me, I recommend a company that makes you wealthy, and I get paid to do that, But you don't have to do that. The fact of the matter is they have the best prices on silver and gold. You can just get the membership and get it and get the silver and gold all you want. You don't have to share it. That's optional. Peace and blessings, King. Peace and blessings. You are so correct. Silver has been shorted. Oh, big time, like 400 contracts to 1. Get some XRP. Yep, I'm with XRP. Yep, no issues with Chainlink. No issues with XLM. Definitely. silver everything. Was that Bank of America was caught leasing silver. Oh yeah, JP Morgan and their traders have been rigging and manipulating the precious metals market for decades. Central banks as well. Their traders have went to jail. They've been fined, okay, to the tune of almost $1 billion for rigging the precious metals market. JP Morgan, right? But at the same time, you can go ahead and Google it yourself. JP Morgan is sitting on 800 million ounces of silver. Now ask yourself this. Why is JP Morgan sitting on 800 million ounces of silver at the same time rigging and manipulating, naked short selling this market? So they're suppressing it, buying it up, so you don't find it attractive, so you don't acquire it. But they're getting real money. Central banks, governments around the world. XRP would be the next Apple. Okay. Blessings to you. Yeah, blessings. Do you have a link? Yeah, you can just go to @costmetals.com. Go to @costmetals.com, and then when you join, okay, because it is a membership, obviously they're giving the metals at cost. They make money on the membership. It's a nominal fee. The lowest membership is $150. You'll make that back in savings. If you really do the numbers and you're buying gold and silver, wherever you were going to go buy and whatever amount you were going to go buy, and then you go look at cost metals and you see the difference, you realize the membership pays for itself, okay? But you can go to @costmetals.com and put in referral code Ricardo Hamilton or M.I.M.S, M-I-M-S. Let me see here. Is this a legitimate guest request? Let's see, brother. It looks like one. What's going on, brother? You got any questions or comments?
What's going on? What's going on? Peace and blessings, brother. No, basically, no, I was just interested in this, man. I don't see a lot of people talking about precious metals. You basically see people either talking about cryptocurrency or they talking about dead fiat currency. You know what I'm saying?
Credit.
How to get dead fiat currency.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm intrigued, you know, by you spreading the word about precious metals. I'm sorry about the airplane. I live close to an airport.
Okay.
But no, I was just curious about the metals, man. I wanted to get into it. I actually started looking for me, I guess, silver pieces, $half, a Morgan Stanley dollars. I'm from Memphis, so a lot of people don't know about, you know, coins or anything like that in Memphis. So when I go around to the grocery stores or the corner stores, I say, man, if you got any 50-cent pieces, I give you 75 cents for them, and they jump. So that's what I've been doing, man. Just going around to different corner stores and asking for their $half and actually going to the bank too and ordering $half and just going through them. So yeah, I've been on the silver train for about a good 4 months now.
Awesome.
It's over with. It's over with.
Awesome. That's smart, because most people don't understand that there's no real money in circulation. So what you're doing is you're getting real money, constitutional money, and you know everybody else is circulating debt. There's only debt in the system, and then right now for you to get the silver that you're getting, it's 90% silver. That's real money, and people just don't understand how valuable that is, especially right now because we are on, we're on the edge. We're like, this switch is about to get flicked. Like we're going to see the reevaluation of assets across the board, because in this market right now, it's rigged, manipulated. There's no real price discovery for assets. And so that's why you want to have real money, especially like, physical silver and gold at this time, because the dollar is going to continue to lose value. So now, brother, you're doing the right thing. Congratulations to you and your family, because most people don't understand this, know this information. They're not doing anything about it, but yet they're getting killed because of their purchasing power. It's constantly being eroded away through inflation and monetary policy.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. And another thing I always tell people too, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear that airplane? Or was it just
but I can hear you. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, most people, I tell people also to do their research and find out what is lawful money. Like, what does the government say is lawful money? And if they actually do their research, they're gonna be very surprised.
Yeah.
I heard you speaking on the U.S. code and stuff.
Yeah.
But bills, statements, checks, money orders, those are all lawful money, gold and silver. And they really say that notes are not lawful money. So Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Federal Reserve's note, that's what that is. But you're right. Most people, I think it's about 60 or 70% are financially literate. People just don't know this stuff, and it's not by accident, it's by design. But that's why we get out
Oh
here and we
yeah.
share this
Prime
information
time.
the best that we can. You know,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Also about a lot of people don't even know about the post office and how powerful that is. The post office is a bank. Get to know your post office.
hmm yeah, yeah, definitely. Yep,
But yeah,
yep. I'm right there with you. Right.
your United States postal orders. I'm sorry.
Now, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, finish your statement.
No, the United States Postal Service. Oh yeah, United States Postal Service. Money orders are backed by gold. So
Okay.
that's another hedge against inflation. That I tell my local people, man, look, if you want to hold your money, save your money, go get you some money orders from the post office, bro. At least that's backed by gold. That $1, a $1 or $10 or $21 money order is still gonna be worth that
Yeah.
in
The
10
point
years.
is,
Just
yeah,
not. But if you
yeah,
keep
no, I
your
agree
money
with
in
you,
that
brother. The
dead
point
fiat
is, you can't go
currency,
to so.
of course, you can't even buy four bags of chips for $1 no more.
Yeah. But I appreciate you, brother, hopping on. You know what I'm saying, adding that value. But
But yeah,
you're doing
that's
the
all I
right
had, man.
thing, and that's real talk. I appreciate you. Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, folks, you see, this information is something that is obviously a lot of people are waking up, and it's good. It's about time, and that's why I go live. Even if you heard the brother, he said he's getting what we call junk silver. You know what I'm saying? Constitutional silver from coins. A silver dollars, 90% silver, and whatever have you. And that's a great way to go. But I did want to address this statement here that I see. Somebody said silver prices are at high, which is straight lie, quite frankly. Silver prices, and that's one of the things that shocks me about the price of silver. Okay. We've had massive inflation in everything. They've shut down the global economy and literally, shut everything down and just printed money. Sounds like a hyperinflationary event to me, right? They just printed money though. And we saw that inflation was everywhere, but except physical silver. Even right now, gold is at an all-time high. Gold is at an all-time high right now, going to all-time highs, and silver still sitting around $30 an ounce. Its all-time high was 50, and we've seen inflation and everything else. This is going to be the biggest opportunity ever in a physical asset that ever existed probably on the planet. The rigging and manipulation that has been taking place in the precious metals market, in particular the silver, and now silver is increasing demand on an industrial level, a governmental level, and amongst its people, because it's returning to money. It's just going to be epic. It's going to be something that nobody could have ever imagined what's going to happen to the price of silver, because there's a greater demand than the supply. There's a greater demand than supply. Just as excited as people are about Bitcoin because of its supply and demand factors and things, a lot of these things that exist, the principles about blockchain and crypto come from real money. That's standard in the beginning of it. But silver is massively, massively undervalued. It's going to go so much higher. And then anybody who just says, don't do crypto or gold and silver, I'm guessing their solution is to stay in dollars and dollar denominated financial instruments. But if you haven't learned from 2008, then I guess you deserve to go through that again, except magnitudes worse. If you don't realize that the dollar is going to continue to lose purchasing power, because the dollar's lost over 98% of its purchasing power since its inception. And the real question is why do we have a Federal Reserve? Why are we putting ourselves in debt and then having to pay interest on the debt? Money that didn't exist in the first place. Why doesn't the Treasury, like it's supposed to, as this nation, why don't we print our own debt-free, interest-free notes? That's what we should be doing. But we have a private banking cartel issuing debt-based, interest-bearing notes, enslaving this nation in debt, okay, and confiscating the life and wealth of this nation, and its people, and that's why, Kennedy issued Executive Order 11110, creating silver certificates, bypassing the Federal Reserve. The public enemy number one, and I say it all the time, is not China, it's not Russia, it's not Iran. Okay, public enemy number one is the central bank. It's the Federal Reserve. They're public enemy number one. Someone said, not tonight. I appreciate. Should we buy gold now or wait because gold is high right now? Gold is going higher. You have to understand that we are in an inflationary environment. We have a debt crisis. Okay, the economy is not well. Like I said, $35 trillion in debt, $1 trillion in interest, $1 trillion added every 100 days. Silver is the much better play, though. You definitely should still get gold, but silver is a much better play because this is what happens. Gold might go like this. Silver might do like this, but the trend is always higher for one, but the dollar, it doesn't do that. The dollar just goes down. Holding on to dollars, it just goes down. The dollar just loses purchasing power. That's why people are finding it harder and harder to maintain their stats. At least we know that gold is going to account for the inflation. It's supposed to account for the inflation. The rigging and manipulation is coming to an end. Central banks and governments are buying more of it than they have in any time period in history. It's what's going to back the CBDCs. We're seeing countries around the world looking to back their currencies by gold. This debt-based fiat paper system is coming to an end. I mean, the only way that I would have faith in this system in the dollar is if the Federal Reserve was audited. But the Federal Reserve has never been audited. That's problem number one right there. How can you have faith in a system that has no transparency? How can you have faith in a currency that's not transparent? They're lying to you about everything. People are starting to, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I think he's one of the trolls in my, I'm gonna handle him in a second if he doesn't get his act together. Why would you buy digital gold, or why would you buy digital gold or gold bars? I recommend physical, but gold and silver will be and are tokenized on the blockchain. Everything is going on the blockchain. The blockchain is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So the sooner you accept that and interact with the blockchain, the better for you. Blockchain isn't going anywhere. But when you have, when you want to get silver and gold, you want to make sure you have it physical as well. You don't want like paper contracts or ETFs, anything of that nature. You want the actual physical asset. Okay. Silver should settle. Yeah. I'm gonna get him up out of here really soon. Silver going to 49. Yeah, I can easily see silver overtaking its all-time high, going into 2025. In 2025, easy. I have a lot of scrap silver. Nice silver. Of course, yeah, it's silver. It's still, this is the thing about silver. Silver is antimicrobial, it's antiviral, antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial. It's self-healing. Okay, silver has thousands of applications for silver. Obviously in electronics, everything as well. I mean, they talk about the AI, but AI uses a lot of electricity. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be silver. Even when we talk about Samsung and their solid state batteries and for EV vehicles, it's silver all day. That's the best metal. Currency debasement soon. Donald Trump will perform an audit. Yeah, I think that the Fed is done. We had Donald Trump, paying Bitcoin. Donald Trump knows what's going on. I think that the Federal Reserve and their system is done. They failed at their mandate. Right now, I think we're looking at maybe stagflation, high unemployment, high inflation. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it seems like. The Federal Reserve has failed at their mandate. We don't need them. If you look at the U.S. debt clock, they've been putting out all kind of messages about this reset and flicking of the switch and the end of the Federal Reserve. And they've been putting out imagery of a new currency that's backed by our commodities, backed by our resources. The Federal Reserve and the dollar is done. I think the world is going to be in for a shock. I think it's going to be an event, and it's going to be an event that's felt worldwide, almost like the pandemic, except magnitudes worse, because just the collapse of the dollar, the collapse of the bond market. It's something that could really take place, whether it's engineered or whether it's something that happens from overseas or it's happening right now. Countries are de-dollarizing. They are dumping the treasuries. They're dumping dollars. That is accelerating, and they're buying gold and silver, and they're getting ready to use blockchain. And as the U.S. continues to weaponize the monetary system and put sanctions on countries, as they continue to support tyrannical regimes that are committing genocide around the world, the world is going to continue to want to diversify and get away from the dollar, and not associated with them. And now they have the technology to get that done. Remember when Roosevelt took us off the gold standard? That shit did not go well. Yeah, they took the gold, but this is the thing: when they took the gold, they paid people for their gold. Now they did reevaluate it, but I'd rather be a person who has it and than not have it. Have it and get paid for it. But they're not going to do that again. They're not coming after the gold. They're not coming after our gold, the people's gold like that. No, that what happened in the past is not going to happen. I really don't believe it in today's time. It's all crashing the next 10 years anyway. Money won't be worth anything and no electricity. Yeah, I find it very hard to imagine the purchasing power of the US dollar in 10 years as well. I mean, what I'm looking at, what's going on in the world right now, and I'm trying to think about 10 years. I don't even know how you can think past this election. Everything is at a tipping point. It's either it is or it isn't at this point. I can't imagine 10 years. We're trying to make it to the election. But I can tell you this with a guarantee. I can guarantee to you that the dollar will lose purchasing power over the course of the next 10 years. That is a guarantee, because that's the only trend we know. They say the only thing guaranteed is death and taxes. They forgot to add the constant devaluation of your currency as well. The constant loss in purchasing power of the dollar is baked into the system. Because as they create more money to inject liquidity and capital in the system, they've created more debt, because debt is equal to money. So now you have a national debt, and then now they're charging you interest. This is usury. This is corruption. So then they're charging you interest. The interest never exists. Where does the money come to pay the interest? Like, hold on. If we're only getting our money from the Federal Reserve, and they say, well, okay, we owe them this, and so where are we going to get the money to pay the interest? We got to borrow more money from them, because they have the money to pay the interest, the dollars, what we call money. So it's this perpetual debt cycle. And then the money that's in circulation that people are holding on, relying on, using, is losing purchasing power, because the more money they put into the system, the less purchasing power of the money. So that's why these politicians will get up there and they'll promise you everything, and we're going to give you money for housing, and we're going to give you money for this, and everybody's like, yeah, communism, free money. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. They give with one hand and they take with the other. And not to mention, they engineer market crashes every 10 years or so. I mean, this market is massively overvalued. I do think the market is going to go higher. I think that the CEOs love getting their big bonuses. I think that the stock market is a psychological tool to that people think is a direct correlation to the health of the economy. If the stock market is up, people believe that the economy is well, and it's actually quite opposite. And in the sense that the stock market is not correlating with the real economy, because they're just borrowing, these corporations are borrowing cheap money, they're propping up their stocks, and then it's a couple of stocks that are actually moving the market. It's not like every, small businesses aren't doing well right now. Small businesses are the backbone of this nation. So it's all, and then they manipulate the data. They'll tweak this, they'll take this out. The metrics that they were using back, in the 80s and 70s are not the same metrics they're using today. And it's to create the illusion. But the stock market up creates a wealth effect. It makes people feel like they're wealthy, but it's a digital illusion, because, you don't have access to it. Most people won't pull their money out for tax reasons. But understand that the market is designed to crash. That's what we've seen. You have boom and bust economies. The Federal Reserve got enacted. We had the roaring 20s. Then we had the Great Depression. Then they took our gold. Then they took us to war. Then they took the dollar off the gold standard. We can see it now. We can literally see, what has taken place, why these things have taken place, and now we can see where it's going. And we don't have that much time left. This Diddy stuff is a major distraction. I think it has a bigger part to play in the whole grand scheme of things, because everything is kind of correlated. This whole system is corrupt. And, the money is the root of all evil. And people do evil and wicked things to maintain and acquire money, fame, and status. So they're all kind of in the same group, you know what I mean? But 10 bands in silver is better than gold right now. Oh yeah, yeah. If I had $10,000 and I'm like, all right, I'm only going to put it in one. I'm not going to diversify it. Oh, easily, all of that's going straight into silver. Um, if you are right, lots of people will be left to starve in the banks, and when the Bank of China fall. It's not even if I'm right. It's like a mathematical equation. There's actually a guy called Gregory Mannarino. He shows a chart, and he shows you a chart of the human bubble. And this human bubble is correlated with the debt bubble. You know, as they've created more debt, it has created an artificial environment that has allowed a population boom. But yes, when this debt bubble, when this system collapses, unfortunately, we will probably see less people. You know, I don't know. I'm not trying to trigger the algorithm to do some BS, but unfortunately, we can't save everybody. You know, this system is designed to collapse. It's collapsing under its own weight of debt right now. I mean, you hear they talk about it. The national debt is a problem, and they're not doing anything. Nobody's talking about addressing the national debt. They're not talking about anything to correct it. So we're on an unsustainable path, and they're just going to keep letting it go that way until they're not. And then they have a plan for you because it's the Hegelian dialectic. They have a plan, but you're not included in that plan. You know, it's problem, reaction, solution, and you're not going to like the solution they have for you. So this is why it's important that you save your money in physical silver and gold. You get in the blockchain and crypto. You give yourself some options. All right, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Not too many people gonna break this down and explain this to you. I mean, that's why TikTok's so powerful, man. People giving this information out for free. You know, we're just giving this information out for free, helping people conceptualize, helping the neurons connect, helping making it make sense. You know, helping people think a little deeper, consider some things that they might not have considered, become aware of some things that they might not have been aware of. Smash that like button. Devaluation is a type of tax. It is. It is. Inflation is a hidden tax. In fact, do I have it up? Let me see. I should have it up, but I don't. Let me see. No, I don't have it up, but I was going to put up a quote by Ron Paul. And essentially he says that inflation is the worst tax of them all. It's a hidden tax. But yes, inflation is a tax. Bro, you are spot on. Yeah, give thanks. Our republic has fallen apart. Big things are coming. History is singing a song it knows well. Yeah, I agree. You know, at this point, it's day by day. Literally, like right now, what's going on in the world is literally day by day. Death and taxes. How much do you think an ounce of silver would be? I can honestly see silver on a 1-to-1 ratio with gold. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but from the information that I've seen, when you're talking about a collapse of this debt-based system, when you're talking about a collapse of the bond market, you know, there's quadrillions of dollars out here, right? Collapse of the bond market, collapse of the stock market, collapse of the real estate market, collapse of all these markets, right? Because it's all based on debt. It's hypothecated value. It's not real. It needs to get reevaluated. Who remembers when oil went -50 on the stock market, right? Like, so we're going to see this collapse of the system, which is a possibility, this jubilee, this type of system, right? And it's going to be gold and silver that's going to benefit from all of it. But I can see, you know, historically, gold and silver is a 10 to 15, a 10 to 1, 15 to 1 ratio. All I know is silver is massively undervalued, but I can easily see a 1-to-1 ratio with gold and silver based off of its industrial demand, based on the actual supply, and now its role being returned to money and some other dynamics as well. Get a hidden tax. Anyone who knows how central banks works understands. Anyone who knows how a central bank works understands where we are headed. Yeah, without a doubt. Listen to what he's saying. If they print silver, will keep going up. Yeah, I mean, so this is the thing. All assets will rise as they continue to print more money. So this is why the rich get the wealthier get wealthy. The rich get rich is because they don't value their wealth in dollars. You know, they value their wealth in time and assets. You know what I mean? So assets will continue to rise in value because the dollar continues to lose value. So because the dollar continues to lose value, you need more dollars to acquire those assets. But it also has that effect of inflation where your cost of living the cost of living rises because the dollar loses value, your purchasing power. So now the eggs, the gas, the electricity, this stuff, it costs. The main driver of inflation, we could get rid of inflation by just going back to the Treasury printing debt-free, interest-free notes. Backed by money, like Kennedy wanted to do. Kennedy set up silver certificates, a debt-free, interest-free money, bypassing the Federal Reserve. But you see what happened to Kennedy for a lot of other reasons as well. It's crashing up from money printing, etc. USD by Bitcoin. I totally agree with him. I also think that all stimulus packages making the stock market go up. Yeah, of course. They were mad when people were using their stimulus to buy Bitcoin. Oh, they hated that. Because they don't want you to take the money, the dollars that they give you and take it outside of the system. They want you to keep it in the system so they can rig it, manipulate it, confiscate it easier. It's easier for them to confiscate your wealth when you keep it in the system, when you keep it in the dollar-denominated system. But once you take it outside the system and you get real silver, okay? That's why you can't tax it in a lot of states. They don't tax gold and silver, right? This is constitutional money. It's God's money. They don't like for you to take your dollars and go buy Bitcoin and go buy gold and silver. You're taking your money out of the system, out of their control. That's what they don't want that. That's one of the reasons I believe why they bring and manipulate the price of gold and silver down, because if gold and silver were allowed to actually account for the inflation in the economy like they're supposed to, right? The gold is supposed to account for the inflation in the system. But because of the banks and short selling, naked short selling, the spot price that we're looking at for physical silver and gold is the derivatives market. It's the paper contracts market. That's not the real price for silver and gold. That is a suppressed, rigged, and manipulated price. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to see a supply shock. We're going to see a squeeze. They can only, this musical chair, this game, this house of cards, they can only keep it going for so long. And it's literally coming to an end right now. And it's going to be a point where it's evident. It's like Dorothy goes and sees the Wizard of Oz. And, the Wizard of Oz is blowing all this smoke, and making it look like he's this big guy on the screen. And then after a while, people start to realize that no, it's just little weak, feeble men behind some computer pressing buttons. That's we're at that point, because it's clear as day now who the Federal Reserve is. It's clear as day as who are our enemies that are foreign and domestic. It's because of social media and people being aware. It's clear as day. It's just clear as day. Now it just seems like we're all essentially waiting for the event. There's going to be an event that is the unveiling, the unmasking of everything, and there's going to be some action around that. It's just not going to be the aha moment. Oh, Epstein and nobody does nothing. Nobody goes to jail. No, there's going to be an event that's going to alter the way the world functions forever, in my opinion, and it's coming very soon. Trump talked about using crypto to help pay off national debt. Sounds crazy, but could work. Yeah, it could. It could. We're going to finance, bro. Okay. I like XRP? Yes, I do like XRP. I get XRP every week, on a consistent basis. I think XRP is the most undervalued digital asset on the planet. XRP is the most undervalued digital asset on the planet. And I think silver is the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. Yes, that's why they want to take. Oh yeah, they definitely, obviously, they want to take Trump out. I mean, what did they say? They got 5 teams that are going after Trump right now. We got different people for different reasons. The same way JFK. There's no one thing that you can pinpoint why they got rid of JFK. And I've seen like 10 really good ones, and I couldn't say no, that one was it. There's like so many reasons. He was really going to do a lot of good for this nation and his people. That's why many banks deny crypto transactions. How do you bypass the commission on purchasing silver? What do you mean bypassing the commission on purchasing silver? You can go to at-cost metals and you can get gold and silver without paying a markup. So you're going to pay the same price the dealer pays. But I don't know what you mean by the commission on that. Mandy, you're a smart guy. Thank you, Mandy. Let's see here. Trump needs Pope mobile. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, right? How the Pope comes through with that bulletproof mobile. Yeah, without paying a markup. Yeah, so go to at cost metals. At cost metals allows you to get the gold and silver and platinum without paying a markup. It's a small membership fee, but the membership fee pays for itself in savings. Okay, it pays for itself in. I mean, literally, you're going to save about anywhere from $2 to $8 on an ounce of silver. You're going to save about $2 to $8 on every ounce of silver. Where at cost, there's no minimums, there's no maximums. You're going to save. And I think last time I checked, it was like you saved $200 on a half ounce of gold. That was a half ounce. So on a half ounce of gold, you'd be saving $200. That pays for the membership already itself. The link, go to atcostmetals.com and put in referral code when you decide to join MIMS, or just put my name, Ricardo Hamilton. Ricardo, no H, Ricardo Hamilton, or but at cost metals, like it sounds, at costmetals.com, referral code Ricardo Hamilton or MIMS. Yeah, you're welcome. Elon gave him a car. Yeah. How much is the membership fee, and is it a one-time fee? Yeah, so they have two membership options. So one option is $149. You pay that one time for the year. It's an annual option. Like I said, you'll make that back in savings. I mean, if you're somebody who wants to get a 100-ounce bar like this, you're going to make that back in savings. You know what I mean? Because if you go anywhere else and get that same 100-ounce bar I just sold you, you're going to pay $200 more. And the membership is $149. They do have a $399 membership. That one's going to cover you for a year and a half. And it comes with some metal. They're going to send you 3 silver MS-70 coins with it. So it's a great value. But the $149 membership is good. You know, you can get the $149 and you buy as much gold and silver and platinum as you like at cost, not paying a markup. When do you think things will blow up, before election or after? It's almost like either. It doesn't really matter. And the reason it just doesn't matter is because we saw what they did when Trump was in office last time. I mean, they literally shut down the economy. They created all kind of riots. They created all kind of division amongst the people, amongst race and class and gender. I mean, so I think that, you know, if there's an election and Trump is our president, he's going to go after them. And I think that they're going to hit the panic button. I think they're going to launch everything, all kind of chaos throughout the nation. I mean, we have an open border. You know, you never hear about these groups, Antifa and all this stuff, until they're ready to bring them out. But it'll be some new group with some new name for all we know. I mean, we have Venezuela gangs, and then we have all this, you know, I don't know, but I know that they will create more chaos the same way they created chaos with Trump in the beginning. But I'll be surprised if we have an election. Honestly, I think, you know, it's just hard to tell. This is one of the most significant time periods ever in history. And there's a lot at stake. And I think the future of humanity, as far as our liberties, our freedoms, is at stake. It really is at stake right now. This is a long agenda that they've been trying to do. You said referral code. Yeah. Put MIMS or Ricardo Hamilton. So you can put M.I.M.S. or you can put Ricardo Hamilton. RICARDO Hamilton. HAMILTON. So when you hit join and it's asked for a referral code, just put Ricardo Hamilton, no spaces, or just put MIMS, M.I.M.S. And then once you create an account, I'll reach out to you as well. Probably tomorrow or something. I'll give you a call and answer any questions, walk through the process if you need something. Why does Russia, Iran, and China, Venezuela all want Trump to lose? I don't know the answer to that. I don't even know if that is the actual case. I mean, I know that I heard that Trump supported Kamala Harris, but I think that we're dealing with chess. I think that we're dealing with psychological warfare. I think that you will never know. There's so many different interests that are being served. You will never really know the truth. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, if Putin says I support, you know, Trump, or if I support Kamala, Scamala, you know what I mean? It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I don't think so. Yeah, that word. I ain't trying to trigger the algorithm, but I see you, Mandy. Yes, all kind of stuff going on. Let me pull up this other article that I pulled up last time. Actually, did I pull this up from earlier? Let me see, what is this? What is this one? Oh, well, I got this article. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's all this stuff up top, but Saudi Arabia is secretly buying gold. Countries around the world, I'm just saying these assets are being bought more and more at record paces by central banks, by governments, and now the people, because they see what's going on with the dollar, and they know the new monetary system is going to be, it's going to be digital. It's going to be some CBDC or whatever have you for other countries. I don't think and hope we'll have that here in the United States. I think that on an international level, we could have a CBDC, but that won't be what the people will use. I think that would be on an international governmental level or something of that nature. But Saudi Arabia is secretly buying more gold. What is this? Currency settlements to see USD payments. What is this here? Oh yeah, BRICS beats the dollar dependency. So national currency settlement exceeds in USD payments. So this is a trend. You know, some people might think that this is not relevant, but this is a trend. And you just need to add a little bit of vision and foresight and see where this is going. Right? Just a little bit of vision and foresight. The de-dollarization is real. The dollar is going to continue to lose purchasing power. The Federal Reserve is in a rate cutting right now, creating value from nothing, devaluing the currency. Gold is breaking out to an all-time high. Silver massively undervalued, getting ready to silver squeeze. We have war going on right now. And during war times, the safest asset to hold is God's money, is constitutional money, is gold and silver. Throughout history, it doesn't matter. Gold and silver will always have value. That's real money. So we have BRICS, de-dollarizing. They're getting off the United States dollar. I mean, Saudi Arabia is not only just buying gold, right? Secretly, like that article just said, but Saudi Arabia is also no longer contractually to sell oil for dollars. So the petrodollar is even going away. So now what is the dollar? The dollar is no longer backed by gold. The nations of the world are no longer required to buy it, which means there's no real demand for it on an international level because Saudi Arabia no longer is contractually required to sell oil in dollars. So they're selling oil and other things. They're going to use blockchain, folks. They're using blockchain. It could be XRP or whatever, but I'm just telling you, it's going to be blockchain. And everybody's going to use a blockchain. Why would they use a weaponized, devalued currency? Why would the world continue when you have the real solution of blockchain? Blockchain is real. Blockchain is transforming every area of human activity. Blockchain isn't going anywhere. The dollar is. Now, I'm not saying the dollar is going to be gone tomorrow, but I'm telling you the purchasing power is going to continue to decline. I think that the dollar will be around, but you won't be able to have enough dollars to maintain any type of standard of living. You're going to be on some UBI type of system. I don't know, but I don't think that the dollar's value is going to be supported long term when there's no demand for it. Why would people want dollars? It's not backed by anything. No, the world is no longer required to purchase it to get oil. What do we need dollars for? It's just a piece of paper. What do we need dollars for? Why are we doing transactions in dollars? It doesn't make sense. I mean, especially to the global community, they're going to say, nah, I ain't with that. Have you been watching the national debt clock? Yeah, I watched the U.S. debt clock and the symbols and windows and the graphics and images that they put out. The Federal Reserve is done. The Federal Reserve is public enemy number one. They're a private banking cartel. They've never been audited. The Federal Reserve is done. And that's what people need to realize, but they're not telling the people though. But the governments around the world, they know. I just told you India bought 65% of all silver supply for this year in 1 month. Central banks and governments are buying more gold than they ever have in any time period in history. Gold is breaking out to an all-time high. Silver getting ready to break out. I mean, it's just a matter of time. And I say this all the time. I'd rather be 1 year or even 2 years too early than 1 day too late to the largest wealth transfer in history. You are not going to be able to get XRP at 60 cents forever, 50 cents, whatever it is right now. That's not going to happen. This time next year, I feel super, super sure. Okay, almost I want to say guarantee, but I don't really have the ability to guarantee that. But I don't think XRP is going to be at 60 cents this time next year. I don't think XRP is going to be under $1 this time next year. Now, the question is, how many XRP did you get under $1? And why would you want to wait until XRP starts to take off before start getting XRP? I don't think silver is going to be at $30 an ounce this time next year. I can't imagine it. I can't see it with the data and everything that I'm seeing and what's going on around the world. Silver is not going to be at $30 this time next year. The question is now, where's silver going to be? And how many ounces of silver did you get while it was $30 an ounce? Or did you want to wait until silver started to break out to buy because of the hype and euphoria and the media talking about silver? Because that's what people do. They want to wait until green candles start forming, massive God green candles, right? Before they start buying, because that's what they do. People like to buy green and sell red. And that's not what you do. You buy red and you sell green. So while silver is down, this is the time to accumulate. While XRP is down 58, 60 cents, people are going to be laughing. They're going to be smiling. It's like there's going to be so many different mixed emotions around this time right now because of what people did. You're either going to be happy or you're going to be mad and sad and poor. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's just like XRP and these assets, silver and these assets, they're not going to be this price forever. And they're going to be much higher. And the question is how much did you get at this point? That's so they control everything. They will be weighing dollars rather than counting them. Yeah. Backed by our military, in my opinion. Well, even that's changing, right? And what I mean by that is like Trump is, if that was the case, Trump would not be for Bitcoin, and he wouldn't be for gold and silver. I think it depends on who's in charge. But yes, the military is what people say is backed by the dollar, but that's force. You're going to force the whole world? You're going to go to war with the whole world because they don't want to use the dollar? Is that what we're saying now? Because we have the strongest military in the world, we're going to force the whole world to use a debt-bearing, interest-bearing note that is owned by a private central bank. Is that what we're going to do as a nation? We're just going to let that go down if that's the case? We're just going to force the world to use dollars as if forcing the world to use dollars is helping us. It's not. It's helping the Federal Reserve. It's helping those who benefit from the system. But the poor are getting poorer. The middle class is being wiped away. The dollar is losing purchasing power. And the American people are finding it harder and harder to maintain their standard of living. So what's the purpose of making the world use dollars for? We just want to take the world down with us? Is that the case? Don't make sense to me. The dollar's not backed by nothing. If it was a stable currency and we're trying to stabilize the world, then that makes sense. But right now, the dollar is not used to stabilize the world. The dollar is being used as a weapon of mass destruction, manipulation, coercion, and all type of sinister things. Signed up, ACM, awesome, Richard. Yeah, so what you want to do, if you signed up with ACM at Cost Metals, once you create your account, you're going to fund your account, okay? You fund it first, and then you purchase the membership from your funded account. Once you fund your account, though, I will have to register you, place you. But once you fund your account, you can purchase the membership. And then they also have a feature called the Coin of the Month. They'll send you one MS70 Silver Eagle to your home on a consistent basis. Okay, so I love that because I like to automate my wealth building. I like to set it and forget it. Most people, they have to think about buying silver and gold and they have to, go buy it. But there's a way to set it on automatic where it's coming to your house on a consistent basis. So they do have that with the Coin of the Month option that they have in the system. But I'll get you placed here soon, Richard, and I'll give you a call because I'm sure I'll see your details in the system here. U.S. military isn't going anywhere though. No, nobody said that. Who said the U.S. military is going somewhere? Ain't nobody say that. We still got one of the strongest. We got the strongest military in the world. Nobody's messing with the United States in that sense. Blockchain will control everything we do. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Everything is going to blockchain. Every area of human activity is going onto the blockchain. Okay, everything. What if you have cash money? How would you buy silver with actual cash money? I don't know what you mean by actual cash money, but you can go to at Cost Metals and get silver and gold at costmetals.com. Referral code Ricardo Hamilton. Actual money. Okay, actual money. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, go to at Cost Metals. You can get it at Cost Metals. BRICS doesn't even amount to 0.5% of a dollar. So what we're talking about is a trend. And I will tell you one thing, that the BRICS nations as a GDP is greater than the G7 nations. In fact, the G7 nations are in a constant decline right now. The economies are collapsing. It's in decline. So you have G7 in decline, and you have the BRICS nations surpassing the G7 nations GDP. So do understand that the BRICS nations as a GDP conglomerate is greater than the G7 nations, US, Canada, and the rest, the West, right? So they're in decline. So it's just a matter of time. And understand something, the dollar is not backed by anything. The dollar is fiat currency. It's a piece of paper, right? It's not backed by gold. It's not the petrodollar per se anymore because the world is no longer contractually obligated to buy oil. So that trend is going to continue. The US dollar will always be the number one currency. Yeah, that was a good little laugh. I got off that one. 90% of the world contracts are done in US dollars. No, that's not correct. You're working with some old data. You're working with, it's probably closer to 60% now. Oh yeah, the world has been de-dollarizing big time. You might want to check on that one. That might have been true at one point. That's why the dollar had the world reserve currency status, but it's literally being challenged right now. I mean, I just got the article right here. BRICS beats dollar dependency. National currency settlements exceed US dollar payments. Do you understand what that means? That means that they're making more payments, is settling more payments in currencies other than the US dollar. That is a trend. So even if it's at 90% now, which it's not, it's gonna decline. Okay, so that's the whole point. It's about the trend. It's about the trend. So we're gonna settle. Oh, this is the guy from earlier, but he didn't bot me too much. But he, okay. See, TikTok starts doing this stuff. TikTok always does this when I'm live. That's how I know they mess with my live stream. They make me move a puzzle piece to the middle of the screen because they're saying the live is inactive. We've been live the whole time, engaging and interacting, and they said my live is inactive. Saudi are no longer selling oil with the petrodollar now, except in other countries. Exactly. That's what I said. Saudi, you are no longer selling oil, right? Yes, pretty much. It's what we've been doing. BRICS ain't breaking the dollar, bro. You see, it's not about breaking the dollar. It's about the trend. It's about the use of the dollar versus the use of other currencies. It's about the growth of those economies, the GDP of those economies versus the GDP of the G7. Like I said, the dollar will be around, but what is the purchasing power of the dollar? Will it go like Venezuela or like the mark? You know, when Germany collapsed. I think that the paper money will still be around, but you ain't gonna be able to have enough of it to maintain any type of decent standard of living. This is why I say you just want to hedge and diversify. The BRICS nations, they're the one who got the resources. They're the one who had the rare earth minerals. It's not in Europe. Europe ain't sitting on the minerals like Africa is. China is manufacturing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like even Trump right now Trump is saying that if John Deere doesn't keep their plants here in the U.S., he's going to give them a 200% tariff because John Deere trying to move their facilities over to Mexico. So we're not even producing anymore. You see what I'm saying? So these are dynamics where you have to realize the trend and what's going on and get ahead of it, or you might suffer because of it. Where did you learn all this? I downloaded it from the Cosmos. Why does nobody believe this? Yeah, I mean, in these times, it's like those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. It will touch them. They will be able to have the discernment, and they will know what to do. But it's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to make it. And that's just a fact of the matter that we have to be comfortable with. Not everybody's going to make it. Your friends, your loved ones, not everybody's going to make it. Now, if you're that chosen one, right? If you're that chosen one, then it's going to be up to your discretion to who you help and how and to what extent. Because you saw the warning and you took heed to the warning that we're seeing in the stars and that we're hearing in the news and that we're seeing with the monetary system and we're seeing with the degradation and the tearing up of the social fabric of society and the corruption and the loss of our rights, slowly eroding away. And you did something about that where everybody else, they didn't, but we shall inherit the kingdom, and we take care of who we want at that point, because unfortunately we can't save everybody. It's backed by our U.S. hustle. Yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah. You can say that it's definitely backed by you. We definitely paying for it. Through inflation and taxation. Yeah. Thoughts on BTC with all the U.S. printing and devaluation? Yeah, I'm bullish on the whole cryptocurrency market. Crypto blockchain is so undervalued right now. I mean, at $2 trillion in market cap, I mean, they trade $7 trillion a day in Forex. Everything is going to be on a blockchain. Everything is going to be on a blockchain. Everything is going to be on a blockchain. Everything is going to be tokenized. So I'm bullish on the whole cryptocurrency space in the blockchain space. Bitcoin, everything is going to rise significantly, massively in value. I would dare to say it's undervalued. When you really consider the trillions, quadrillions of dollars that's out there, when you consider that all the money, everything is going to be tokenized and moved on the blockchain, we haven't seen anything yet. You're not too late to the party. Trust me. You're not. They haven't even started moving money on the blockchain yet. Like you just seen the test of it. New here is ISO tokens the only diversity I need? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, look at it like this. If you go to a stocks, you have mutual funds, you have small cap, you got blue chip, there's different sectors that you can invest in the stock market. You know what I mean? There's different categories in blockchain. What you want to do with blockchain is you want to find the blockchain projects that are solving the real world solutions. That's where the value is. Some type of attachment to the real world that's providing a solution that gives value to that blockchain, its use case and what it's doing. So that's why people are very bullish on ISO, because that's solving a real world problem with the transmission of information and money and payments and things of this nature. But there's gaming. Obviously, the gaming sector is huge. There's, the DeFi sector. NFTs are huge. I mean, Trump has his own NFTs. I mean, so there's different cryptos and projects that are satisfying different categories. But the only reason I would say, because you can't be too diversified. If you deployed your money and you spread it in all these places, you're not going to experience the type of percentage gains that you would if you consolidated that portfolio to a couple of projects and you have more money, which means you have more tokens, which means you'll have a greater gains in those assets. You just want to make sure that you're in something that is going to be of value and that will rise in value. And you want to have a nice bag in it. You want to have a couple of big bags and a couple of things. You don't want to have a whole lot of little bags and a whole lot of things, ideally. People are so indoctrinated. Yeah, it's true, Mandy. It's a world economy. No manufacturing in America is profitable because besides microchips. Well, yeah, I mean, you just proven another good point. Thank you. I appreciate that gift. You just proven another good point. I agree. But I think, that Trump is doing the right thing by, trying to make America great again and bring back the jobs. Putting these tariffs on these goods that are coming in cheaply. It's devaluing our nation. It's devaluing our people and our efforts, our work. And, so that's why, I think Trump is going to be the best option for this country. But if somehow they steal this election, I hope you got your contingency plans and emergency plans in place. Make what? Have the money to help others. I missed that, Mandy. I'm sorry. What you mean by that? Make what? Have the money to help others. Well, what I'm saying is that if you have the assets, if you have the gold, you have the silver, you have the cryptocurrency, you're going to benefit from the wealth transfer because the dollar is going to continue to decline and it's going to transfer to these assets and these assets are going to rise. So you're going to be the person, we're going to be the people that have the ability to take care of our loved ones or anybody else that we want to. While, like you said, a lot of people are indoctrinated or they don't take advantage of this information, they're going to be subject to somebody else's help. Now, whether that's going to be you who help them or the government, that's, what eventually will happen. Even microchips require minerals from other countries. Yeah, exactly. Blockchain is the future. Every aspect of life will be tokenized from banking. Yep, exactly. I agree with you. You said that as well. Maybe when banks figure it out. You think crypto will rise significantly this bull run? Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I think that but what you have to understand that people are looking for yield. And so money, they want their money to grow. And the places where your money's going to grow, like I said, the stock market is overvalued. I think they are going to push the market higher, but the growth potential for blockchain and precious metals is going to be so great. It's going to be much greater. But yeah, this bull run is going to be epic. I don't think there's going to be another one like it. Just because of all the dynamics that are going on in the world. That's why you want to get in early. You want to get in now. I don't think that, even after this bull market, the correction, you will never be able to get cryptos back at these prices. Listen, XRP, in this bull run, when it breaks out to all-time highs, it's not coming back to 60 cents. I mean, it's just not. We might see a correction, but I'll be hard pressed, because remember, all of this is where it is right now is based off of the SEC lawsuit, all this other stuff. But I mean, now we have stablecoin, RLUSD, we got smart contracts, DeFi, all type of stuff coming. It's just a whole lot of value that's coming where these assets are going to be much higher. That's why the U.S. wants World War III. Well, yeah, that is what you're saying is that yes, countries, when they're in debt or when they're collapsing, they take you to war. And that's why we see Sarkozy and France and them, they're pushing for war with Russia, because Europe is collapsing. They're collapsing right now. And so what you're seeing is the measures, and I'm talking about like in GDP, like the G7 nations are in decline in GDP, right? And like with France, they've lost their control over Niger. So they're not getting the gold. They're not getting the minerals. What is it for the uranium? I think it's uranium, right? For energy. And then the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, right? And then, so there's so many dynamics where they're in trouble, right? And so, yeah, they want to take you to war because they're afraid that a bigger, stronger, more healthier country, Russia, is going to, they're going to be subject to them. And so they're saying, well, as opposed to being subject to you, we'd rather try to beat you in war, which is just, it's dumb. It's really dumb what's going on right now. But it's because we have weak politicians right now. I think Trump, like you said, Trump said I would end that war on day one. I think Trump can do it. And I think it can happen with a phone call, because what's happening here is that he understands that money is controlling everything, money and power. And just like, he threatens nations that, hey, you won't get this money if you don't stop doing what you're doing. Right? Well, it's the same thing. What's keeping the war going right now is the money. So if we stop giving Zelensky money, the war is done. Who's funding the war right now? We stop giving them weapons, the war is done. Now we got to figure out the treaty or draw up some new lines and whatever have you. But this war never should have started. There was a peace deal on the table between Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. And the UK, or they told them not to do it. There was a peace deal, Minsk agreement. There was already agreement. Putin was never going to go into Ukraine. He never was going to do it. But NATO had to continue to move eastward. They had to continue to move eastward, put in Russia in a position where they had to respond. And they told them what they were going to do. I say, hey, you have to stop doing this. You're not supposed to be. We had an agreement. NATO is not supposed to continue to expand towards the east. But yeah, you keep trying to bring on these other countries, and you're putting a threat to us. You're bringing a threat to us. So we need a neutral area, and now you're trying to bring Ukraine into NATO? No. We can't have this. This is not what we agreed on. So they want to walk back agreements and treaties and everything else, but there was a peace deal on the table, and they forced them to walk away from it. So this is not, where we are is not by accident. The people know what's going on here. It's really deep. It's really deep. It's so deep that I really could break down the whole thing, but TikTok would have been cut the live stream off a long time ago. I have to go to X. China will never agree to BRICS currency. They always keep the USD. Won't there be war before the dollar collapses? I mean, we're at war right now. And the dollar has collapsed, if you ask me. I mean, the dollar has lost over 98. I mean, what do you say about something that's lost 98% of its value since its inception? 1913, the Federal Reserve note, that dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power today. To me, that's a collapse. So yes, the dollar is going to continue to lose value. Will it go away tomorrow? No, it will still be used. But what is its purchasing power? How many dollars does it take to buy a loaf of bread? Do you have enough? Can you live with dollars? Yes, sir. Fair market line, and they get you paid to get yourself paid. You wanna You want to come on a live stream and add some value to the conversation, or you just trolling because then I gotta let you go? If you want to explain yourself, I have no problem bringing you up. But if you keep putting nonsense in the chat, then I might have to just let you go. Tariffs are the best option. Yeah, right. No, it's not about the best option, but you understand that the government was only really supposed to get its money from tariffs. Essentially, they're not supposed to be taxing us. It's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. You see what I'm saying? Like, the government is supposed to be getting their money from tariffs and like there's like a couple other things, but the way the government is getting their money now, they're not supposed to be getting it this way from their people like this. It's not supposed to be like this. We should not be using a debt-bearing, interest-bearing currency. We should be using debt-free, interest-free money, like Kennedy wanted to set up with silver certificates. You know what I mean? Now, tariffs ain't the best solution and the only solution, but we have to get back to running this government the way it's supposed to be ran. This government has gone so far off with the designing of this country and the Constitution, how it's supposed to be ran. Chi-Town, join ACM, awesome. Like I said, if you join At Cost Metals, just add funds to your account, purchase your membership from the funded account, and then I'll place you, and then you can also go in and add the coin of the month that you like as well. But once you get the membership, you got the ability to get gold and silver at cost, and I'll see those who have signed up either use referral code Ricardo Hamilton or use referral code MIMS. But I'll see those who signed up, and I'll be giving you a call, answering any questions and helping you out if you need it at all. So you will be hearing from me. Bitcoin are tulips. I can't say that. I can't say Bitcoin are tulips, but I do know what you mean by that. But I wouldn't say Bitcoin is tulips. No. How much in the market do you think is enough? How much in the market do you think is enough? What do you mean? How much of what? How much in the market do you think is enough? How much of what? And you might have said it. I'm a little slow in the chat, so y'all gotta apologize. Peace, bro. What's going on? Great commentary. Thank you. Could you explain the headlines for me? I'm having trouble understanding it. Yeah, so it says BRICS beats dollar dependency. So the countries around the world, the BRICS nations around the world, are doing trade outside of the dollar. They're using their own currency. They're using blockchain. They're using gold. They're de-dollarizing. And so right now, they're beating their dependency on the US dollar around the world, and they're settling payments outside of the dollar is exceeding the payments that they normally settle in the dollar. So what you're just seeing is de-dollarization. You're seeing less use, less credibility, less status of the United States dollar on an international standard. And that is a trend, and it's going to continue. And as they print more money and there's less demand for it, you're just going to see more inflation. You're going to see more inflation. And the only solution, this is the crazy part people don't understand. The only solution that, and I can change this one anyway. The only solution that the Federal Reserve has is to print more money or cut rates. I'll put this one up. But this is a thing. Like the Federal Reserve, their product is debt. They're just manipulating debt, and they've never been audited. That's the crazy part. People don't really understand how bad the situation really is. There's a reason that the Federal Reserve has never been audited. And if the Federal Reserve was ever audited, the dollar would collapse tomorrow. Now the dollar would collapse tomorrow. Nobody would use the dollar. The dollar's done tomorrow if there's an audit on the Federal Reserve. Guarantee. I'll put a guarantee to that. But it will never happen. The Federal Reserve will never be audited. But the dollar would collapse tomorrow if they ever audited the Federal Reserve. Guaranteed without a doubt. Guaranteed without a doubt. I would love to be wrong on that. Let's get the audit done. Never will happen. Never will happen. Right? Countries are keeping its mouth shut about flipping on BRICS. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like watching the movie Avengers, right? And you saw Thanos, and then you saw the Avengers, but you saw two great opposing forces. They say what happens when an immovable object meets a unstoppable force, right? This is what's going on in the world right now, and so people are deciding which side are they going to line on. And so as we get closer and closer, some countries are flipping, and some but that's really what's going on. We're seeing an unstoppable force and an immovable object in the global economy right now. Who is what? I don't know. But we're seeing two major forces taking place, and people are choosing their side. They're choosing their side right now. Let me see if I got another image up there. Oh yeah, this one. Oh no, you can't see it, but it's essentially that. I'll leave that up real quick while I look at these comments. Countries are keeping right. We are going broke with this one. We won. Yeah. Finally someone speaking facts. Yeah, I appreciate it, Paula. It's XRP to one. Yeah, I believe XRP is the most undervalued digital asset on the planet. I believe XRP is the most undervalued digital asset on the planet. What can us do? So what you can do is bet against the debt. If you believe that we are in a debt crisis, if you believe that the national debt is unsustainable, if you believe that credit card debt, household debt, student loan debt, corporate debt, if you believe that the debt is a problem, then the way you bet against the debt and the collapse of this debt system is by holding gold and silver. Holding real money. It's how you hedge and diversify. So you get educated for one, right? You follow the right people, consume the right information, but you convert liabilities into assets. You take dollars that are losing value and you save in gold and silver. You take dollars that are losing value and you invest in blockchain and cryptocurrency. That's what I would say. That's what we can do, and that's what you should do. That's why, one of the reasons why I have this article up right here. India got 65% of the annual mining supply just in August. That's crazy. The silver squeeze is going to be epic. It's going to be something crazy, man. I even find it hard to imagine. It's got me stuttering. Because I can easily see silver, 4 digit silver. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but I'm telling you, when you're looking at the supply and demand factor, when you look at the industrial use of it and where we're going in this economy with AI and everything else and the need for silver, when you're looking at its return to its role as money, and when you realize there's not that much physical silver out there, there's so many dynamics, and then you're talking about a collapse of a debt-based system and everything else. There's so many dynamics and just very bullish for silver. Just said money. How much, I guess, money in the market do you think is enough? I don't know. That everybody's situation. I guess everybody's situation is different, but you're better off having something than nothing. That's for sure. RFID chip. The Fed to cut rates 2 more times next year. Oh, this year. Yeah, I think right. Yeah, the Fed's going to cut rates again this year. And they're going to cut rates into 2025. They're giving you the game plan. They're saying, hey, we're going to continue to devalue the currency. What are you going to do about it? So most people don't understand that. And this is why you have to understand it, because it affects your ability to maintain your standard of living and provide for yourself and your family and your future. Because they're telling you they're going to continue to devalue the currency. They're going to continue to print from nowhere. They're going to continue to make money cheap. And so what's going to happen is the stock market might keep breaking out to all-time highs. Because the banks are going to borrow the money and they're going to prop up their stocks because they get paid in bonuses in the stock market. Then in the stock market being high creates a wealth effect for whatever's left of the middle class because their retirement accounts are up. But at the same time, we could see a crash. At the same time, we could see where the injection of liquidity into this market is not going to stem the tide of the collapse. You know what I mean? It's like a patient, like the economy is in the ER right now. It's an ICU and it's plugged into the machine that's keeping it alive. But if you unplug the machine, the economy collapses, right? And it's now the economy is not only on life support, right? So the US economy is on life support, but they also have to inject it with adrenaline to keep it pumping, right? So it's plugged into life support. They're pumping it with adrenaline. They're trying to make it look like it's alive. But what happens is every time they inject the adrenaline, the liquidity into this market, they have to inject 2 to 3 times at least more the next time to get the same type of effect on the EKG type of thing, right? To get the same type of effect in the economy, they have to. So you have to understand that debt is going to continue to explode exponentially. Exponentially, it has to explode, and it gets to a point where before they were talking about negative interest rates. You know what I mean? It's a totally unsustainable path. It's just, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. If the Federal Reserve cuts rates, doesn't matter. If the Federal Reserve don't cut rates, doesn't matter. This is already going where it's going. There's nothing that they can do to change it. It's irreversible at this point. We're at 120%, over 120% debt to GDP ratio. We're at the point of no return mathematically. Mathematically, we're at the point of no return. So it doesn't matter what they do. Quite frankly, they can just make it worse or accelerate it or, create an illusion. But it's already over. It's already done. Yeah, the Federal Reserve is in hot water. We should have never had a Federal Reserve in the first place. There should have never been a Federal Reserve set up in this country. It's a private central bank. It's a cartel. They issue the debt and they make us pay interest when the Treasury can interest debt-free, interest-free notes. The Federal Reserve is public enemy number one. If the founding fathers of this country said that us having a central bank was worse than being at war, with a foreign power and their army on our shores. We were better off. We would be better off right now with Chinese troops off the coast of California than having a central bank in this country. The central bank is the worst thing that could ever happen to this country, the Federal Reserve, because they're going to do exactly what they've done: confiscate your wealth and leave people homeless on the streets. That's what's going on right now. What percentage did BRICS use the SWIFT system? What percentage of BRICS use? Well, everybody was using SWIFT. Everybody was using SWIFT. And the United States weaponized SWIFT and started putting sanctions on everybody and everything else. And so the world said, "Hey, we need to hedge against this. It's not a fair system." And the BRICS conglomerate is there literally for that, to usurp the dollar in the hegemony. What have they been doing? Casper is the most undervalued digital asset. Yeah, I got some Casper lovers on my Facebook as well. I don't have any issues with Casper. I don't have any Casper, but I plan on getting some. I do plan on getting some Casper. Yeah, XRP. Glad to see you have 22,000 followers. Yeah. I should have more, right? I should have more, but TikTok, it always plays around with me that, they kind of suppress me or shadow ban me or, they'll cut my live stream and I can't go live for a week and, all this stuff. So I usually just go back to my Facebook community which I always take care of my Facebook community, Facebook or YouTube, and put stuff out there. But yeah, help this channel, man. Smash that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Silver, the most undervalued physical asset, and Casper is the most undervalued digital. Well, I agree with you on the first one, but I'm still going to hold to my guns and say XRP is the most undervalued digital asset. I mean, XRP has like 1,700 NDAs that have been signed with the banks and institutions that we don't even know about. I think it's much bigger than people realize. I think it's much bigger, but because, unfortunately, what people do? They correlate the price to value. So people will say, well, XRP is only 60 cents, so it can't be that valuable. People, unfortunately, they look at the price of something, but the price of something doesn't correlate to its value all the time. And it's the people's ability to see that the price doesn't correlate to something's value. Those are people who get rich. Because eventually the market will realize the value of what you realized was undervalued, which is now no longer valued, or which is now no longer undervalued, right? Because the world is now buying it and they realize that, its true value. So I think that the world does not really realize the value of silver yet. The masses of people, I would say, they don't realize XRP yet because they're looking at the price of it. And they say, oh, silver is $30. They say, oh, XRP is 60 cents. They like to wait for things to take off in price. So they want to wait until silver and XRP at all-time highs to buy. Hey, we need those people too. But you want to get it before it takes off. Yeah, but we won't see the only corporate big business will benefit from rate cuts. Yeah, of course. You're absolutely right, Christine. You don't no, it's always these bots and stuff. It's the people who don't have a name. They're like user 138 and then they don't have a picture. And then they'll say, well, you don't know what you're talking about, but then they never substantiate what exactly it was that I said incorrectly. So anyways, sorry, I'm tired. And not completing my sentences, but you are the man. I followed you, and I'll be back. Awesome, Mandy. Thank you. I appreciate your support and on the follow. Thank you. It was an honor to have you. The economy is an elephant on a bouncing ball. That will be the event that brings in the extra bullish. Abolish the Fed. Yeah, end the Fed. Yeah, George Gammon, Ron Paul, let's go. Like straight up end the Fed. I think if banks are the problem by them lending out money that wasn't theirs to give. Yes, Christine, you are right. So the major inflation actually really comes from the banks. Inflation comes from the Fed, but the major part of inflation is coming from the banks because the banks do fractional reserve lending. They loan out way more than they have. In fact, fractional reserve lending requirements are now set to zero from after the pandemic, right? So it used to be they had to keep 10%. You know, it was like fractional reserve. They keep a fraction of your money. They loan out the rest. But now they don't. They loan out all of it, and it's so most of the inflation really is because when you look at M2 money supply and stuff like this, most of the inflation really comes from the banks and what they're creating off of the debt. But the initial debt comes in obviously from the Federal Reserve. You're doing a great job explaining inflationary dollar destructive future. Thank you, Dino. Facts. Appreciate the follow. Are you posting this live as replays on YouTube? You know, I need to. I haven't. I've had so many fire lives. I need to, start placing these on YouTube because after this live stream, it's like if you were blessed to be on, you was blessed to be on because once I'm off, it's gone. Unfortunately, but you're right. I need to start putting them on. But make sure y'all follow me. Go to my website, runwithrick.com. But I'm probably going to do that. I'll probably start posting these on YouTube because I think they do need to be preserved in that way where people can go back and listen to them. All the new books that don't do all the new people, I don't know why I said books, it's getting late. All the new people that don't do their homework look to become rich overnight and follow the herd. Markets tell you the future, but what it's doing in the present because the news is old news. I want RFK Jr. to be the president. Hey, well, he's in the Trump administration, so vote Trump. Okay, there we go. Cheers, man. Yep, cheers. SETF. Silver ETFs? No. Is that what you're saying? Don't get no silver ETFs. You want the physical. You want physical. You don't want anything digital, no paper certificate or something of that nature. Silver is already worth at least $100. Oh, yeah, at minimum. I agree with you 100%. Silver should be $100 right now. At least $100 right now, bare minimum. And that's like super, super modest. It's like super, super modest. But yes, silver should be well over $100 an ounce right now. And for the fact that it is at 30 at spot, it's the biggest opportunity ever to exist in assets, probably. I mean, when you really understand the rigging and manipulation, everything is crazy. Yeah, silver is the Achilles heel to the banking system. It's the Achilles heel. Silver is the Achilles heel. Silver will break the banks. There's a lot of people who know that. It's coming. The silver squeeze is coming. It's going to be epic. We're almost there. We're almost there. But with that being said, look, if you want to get silver and gold, okay, and you don't want to pay a markup on it, you want to get it at cost, go to atcostmetals.com, www.atcostmetals.com, put in referral code Ricardo Hamilton, no spaces, or put in the referral code MIMS, M.I.M.S, and start getting physical silver and gold at cost. Get the membership. Membership pays for itself. With that being said, I generally try to go live Monday through Friday between, I might do a 9 o'clock or 10 at the latest 11. I got on at 11 tonight. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. We're going to continue to document the collapse and continue to help people prepare for the largest wealth transfer in history, acquiring physical and digital assets. Like I always say, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, this is the opportunity to make sure that a wealthy family comes from you. This is Ricardo Hamilton, Crypto Rick M.I.M.S. Make it make sense. I'm going to catch you guys on the next live stream tomorrow night. I'm out. Peace.